As we left off last week, our adventurers Yama, Onyx, Hank, and Ashima, and a newfound puppy, boarded an underground tube that would take you to Zone 1, Canada. You hope to find an aerosci plant, and aerosci is, of course, this massive energy conglomerate company, and their president, Cassandra Sterling, has newly been elected as President of the United States of America. You are going to this aerosci plant in Canada where you can get more answers about how to reverse the catastrophic explosion of the USS Empire. This was a space zeppelin that was launched with all of Manhattan's garbage with the destination into the sun. And, of course, things did not go so well with that launch. As you get into the tube, the doors are closed, and suddenly the tube whisks off. You feel like you're moving fast, but you can't tell. There's no sound. It's like there's a ringing in your ears. And from the moment the tube moves, it's like a high-pitched ringing, and you can't hear anything else. You can speak while you're in the tube, but you'd have a hard time understanding each other.
I feel kind of nauseous.
What?
I feel kind of nauseous.
What's she saying?
What?
What's she saying? What are you saying?
What are you saying?
What am I saying?
You look around, there's nothing really to hang on to. There's no seats or handles. Everything is pristine, clean, white.
What's that ringing?
This is a Kubrickian nightmare.
What's that ringing?
I try and get a sense of what's outside of this compartment that we're in. Is it moving too fast for me to see anything?
So you look outside the large glass windows on either side of the tube, and you can see that you are moving through a tunnel. The subway, it's mostly like a subway tunnel. You can see there are tubes and wires that are flashing by you quickly, but sometimes you catch a glimpse of things like little vignettes that pass quickly in front of your eyes, like a flash of a face, or a family at dinner, a giant clown. It's almost like you feel like memories or thoughts are passing before your eyes. It's inexplicable. As you pass through a couple of unoccupied tube stations as you travel.
Did anybody else just see a clown?
I heard something about a clown.
Suddenly, the train slows down, and the ground feels like it's sliding underneath you. You can see the half-parked tube up ahead in the next station, and then finally the tube slowly stops. The buzzing in your ears stops, and you hear footsteps. Suddenly the doors open, and 5 lizard folk guards appear. Ashima is standing by the door and is pulled by the lizard folk off of the train, and the doors close.
Oh my god!
What?
The train moves in the opposite direction.
Open the door?
You cannot open the door. There's nothing to even grab onto. You can try.
Do a check. Do a strength check.
8 plus.
Was it a strength check?
Yeah, strength check.
10 total.
10 total? No, you're just clawing at this perfectly,
Yama runs at the door, slams into it, and is knocked onto the floor.
Yama takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
I'm just sitting in the corner, huffing my lavender, feeling so incredibly nauseous, just curled up in a little ball, feeling incredibly helpless.
As the train continues on, you notice that it seems to be slowing. It's slowing down a little bit more now. The train is coming up into a station. The doors open, and you feel a gust of hot, humid, sticky air. You are not in Canada. It's not like a full subway station. It's more like a forgotten set of stone steps leading away from the train. The steps are overgrown with moss on them. You notice that the walls around these steps are sort of sticky and moist, but you don't notice any writing or engraving on there. It feels like water was running down or through these steps.
Is the puppy here?
Oh, definitely the puppy is here. The puppy is right at your feet. He's seems nervous and excited.
Oh, Okay, I pick up the dog and I put him on my shoulder.
You put the dog on
Yeah,
your
I'm
shoulder?
like, he's like balanced between me and my pack. It's okay. Oh, we're gonna get through this. We'll take care of you.
Okay, I need to get up. I just walk forward. I need to get out of this subway station. So I start walking forward, and I go towards the stairs, and I start walking up.
All right. Does anybody follow, or are you guys still
I
hanging
think
back?
we should follow her.
Yeah. Okay. Let's stick together.
I take out my moisturizer, and I start to lather my face in it.
It's so humid here. How can you possibly be?
So
I'm
dry.
sweating through everything.
I don't know. I've always had this dry skin. Okay.
Okay.
Just don't judge me. Everybody always judges me.
Do you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will do me.
You're leading?
Yes, I'm
All right.
leading.
We'll follow you.
Okay, so I'm walking up, and
All right. So with Onyx at the lead, you see in front of you a low-lying terrain. The ground is flat. There are hints of moss and low green grass. The tube exit leaves you on what used to be a highway that was running through this grassy terrain, which is now filled with garbage. In front of you, there is one skinny line down the highway's center, right where the dotted lines in the middle of the highway would be. So everyone must walk single file with Onyx at the front. On the sides of you, there are wrappers, beer cans, old food, flies buzzing and browning and smelling.
We're on the surface?
You're on the surface. You're walking on what used to be a highway with garbage on either side of you, and there's a pathway down the center of the road that has been cleared for people to walk this way.
I don't think we're in Canada.
Alright, well, let's just look around and see if we find any landmarks. I'm sure if we see a skyline, we can, match it up to any sort of knowledge.
Yeah.
So as you look to your left, you see there's an open field of trash and more trash. It's like a big dump that seems to stretch on for miles.
This is so sad.
Is any of this trash on fire?
Looking around, you don't see that any of this trash is currently on fire, but
Not
certainly
yet.
it could have been.
But it didn't fall
No,
from the
the
explosion. Probably. It's probably been here.
yeah, the
Okay.
explosion looks like we've still got some time before it falls.
I didn't know the trash was as bad everywhere.
I start picking up some trash, just
You start picking up the trash.
just little bits,
Just little
Just trying
bits?
to make myself feel better.
Miss Demir, what are you?
I am doing my part. I am participating
You're gonna
in.
clean up this trash by picking up little pieces of trash.
I am trying to do something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Never let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
I
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
like that.
Yeah, you do what you need to do to feel better, but let's keep moving.
And as Onyx is cleaning up little bits of trash as she walks along, you notice that to your right is the same open field of trash, but in the distance, there's a slight silhouette of blue, hazy mountains. And if you have good eyesight, you can see smoke coming from one of the tops of the mountains. If you look further up to the sky, you notice that the scar of the USS Empire blast can be seen in the upper right-hand corner of your vision. It's a black dot, no bigger than the size of a planet in the sky, so it's about the size of a quarter or a dime from where you're standing. You're far away. You must be south. So it's telling you that from where
So
you
we're
are, you
in
can
the
see
American
this
South,
explosion.
you guys. Judging by where that dot is, and the humidity in the air, the fact that, remember that map we saw only had 5 zones? Only one of the zones would make sense. Somewhere in the American South.
Alright.
We went the opposite direction of what we thought we were doing.
Okay, I'm trying to think if I know of any Aero Psi headquarters in the south.
You want to roll an Arcana check?
No, I'm going to roll
History?
something at history. Not my strong suit. What about investigation?
That would be history.
Okay, fine,
or-
investigation.
What are you going to be in?
Yeah.
What are you going to be investigating
Okay.
exactly? It's gonna
History.
be history.
I'm going to use my knowledge.
All right, do a history check.
All right. History check. History. I can't remember anything.
You can't remember anything.
Absolutely nothing.
Great.
What did you roll, Mike?
A 2?
A 2?
2, yeah.
Yeah, you know absolutely nothing. You have no clue what's going. You feel really out of place down here. This is absolutely nothing like what you're used to in New York City.
Think. I can't think.
Okay, it's alright. Don't hurt yourself.
Don't talk to me like that.
Alright. Okay.
I take out my cell phone. There has to be someone that I can call.
You take out your cell phone
Yes.
and you find that it is entirely off.
Can we tell how far that mountain is? It's got the smoke coming from the top of it.
You might guess that those mountains are very, very far away. So far that you wouldn't be able to travel to them in one day marching, for sure.
This is a stupid question, but
more of
does
a
anybody
silhouette.
have a charger?
My guess is with time being stopped that we're probably not going to have any access to any of our technology. We're going to have to make
You
do.
need a magic charger. You have a magic charger?
No, I don't have a magic
Yeah, me neither.
charger.
They haven't made those yet. That I can see. But maybe we can find one. Maybe if we... Who are you going to call anyway?
I'm gonna try the Ghostbusters. Who do you think I'm gonna call? I have Cassandra's number.
Oh, Cassandra Sterling.
Yes,
the one
Cassandra
who left
Sterling.
you at the...
No, she didn't leave me. Okay, she had better things to do. She's the president of the United States.
Like
there's a reason behind all of this. I'm sure there's a big reason behind all of this.
There's a reason she blew up
Explanation.
her own rocket.
That was. There has to be an explanation.
There sure has to be, yeah.
There will. Yeah.
Suddenly you hear something rustling in the trash. These trash bushes that are to your right. There's the dog is notices something is coming out, and there's a little tiny squirrel runs out, followed by and then a little person.
Potato! Potato, get over here! Stay away from that dog, Potato!
Whoa.
Tell your dog to stay away from my squirrel.
What? You tell your squirrel to stay away from our...
Where'd your dog come from?
Where did you come from?
I live here.
In the trash?
No, I wander the area a lot.
All right. Where are we?
In the deep south.
The deep south.
I feel like I've seen your face somewhere before. I'm sorry, what are you people doing here?
Oh, excuse us.
You came to help. We're good. We don't need any.
We?
Yes. The clan that I pertain to.
I'm sorry, we're being very rude. My name is Yama. I'm a professor. We're all from New York.
Oh, the big
I'm not
city.
sure if you've
I'm over big
noticed.
cities.
She's moving and talking. Not like anybody else in New York.
Where we're
What's
from,
going on in New York?
there was an explosion. The rocket that was supposed to take a bunch of trash to space exploded, and suddenly time stopped for all of us.
Artichoke.
Well, for everyone except us and one other friend.
Yeah, none of that's going down here. We're taking care of our environment over here.
Really?
Sure. That makes
So
sense.
everybody in your settlement, still moving, still talking.
We walk and talk.
Did anybody stop talking or moving?
Not that I know of.
When were you home last?
I've been here for a few months, but we're asking way too many questions right now.
Hi. I am Onyx Stilmirith.
Nice to meet you. My name's Loopton, Stumbleduck.
Excuse me.
You can call me Loop. It's easier.
Luke.
We've been through a lot in the past couple of hours, but right now we're trying to figure out how to save the world.
Oh! I don't know I can trust you.
Oh, you can definitely trust us. Lavender. I'm a very trustworthy person.
To be honest, you don't necessarily know that you can trust us, but right now it seems that the rest of the world outside of your settlement has something terribly wrong with it. We're trying to make it right.
Where is your settlement?
It's a few miles that way.
And you were there this morning?
It was
How long ago was that?
A couple hours ago. Honey, I'm not crazy, okay?
Did you see the rocket?
Did I see the rocket?
You look up at the sky, and you don't see a rocket, but you do see this dark spot in the sky about the size of a dime or a quarter. And surrounding this black dot in the sky is a color wheel of different mixed colors. Red into blue, into green, into gold, into brown, all mixed together and swirling in a spiral around the dot. And it looks really, really pretty from this far away.
It's kind of creepy.
Did you know that was happening today?
We weren't. I was not aware. I've been with Potato, a squirrel.
Oh, you're squirrel. Oh,
You have a dog. I have a squirrel.
yeah, there we go.
Is that an issue?
Just
They are. They're friends now.
Yeah, it looks like the dog has jumped down and they're sniffing.
Do you have any idea what is further down the road?
No, I move in this direction, not in that direction.
Why?
Because there's garbage over there, and over here there's not.
You have a garbage-free zone.
You have a
We
garbage
do.
free zone?
We've
would you be willing
been taking care of that.
to take us to your settlement?
Perhaps. Can I roll something to figure that one out?
You can just decide if you want to or
Oh,
not.
thank you. First, I want to check all your backpacks and see what's in there. Make sure you don't have any weapons and you're gonna abduct me.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I pull out my backpack and I start showing you. Okay, so here's all my stuff. This is actually my research for my newest book. Last one was very successful. It was about Earth core and how it's actually detrimental to the environment. And but this one is theorizing about how we can make it better
Okay,
and
I
how
don't
we
need
can.
all the intellectual stuff.
Oh,
Just-
no, that's
is
fine.
any
Nobody.
of those things gonna
yes,
kill me?
Fine. No. You might want to
What's
avoid
that?
this. This is a sample of a new Earth core. We don't know. It might have been used in some sort of weaponized way, and right now it's stabilized.
You've got a
But
test tube of that thing.
yeah,
Which could damage the Earth.
we're trying to figure out a way to make it not do that.
Potato, stay away from that.
This is earth core. It's harvested by Aeroside, which you probably have heard of.
Vaguely, we don't read a lot in these parts.
Do you know the President of the United States?
Luke.
Thank
It's
you.
Luke, right?
It is Luke.
Can I level with you? You don't have to worry about us. I would say you'd have to worry about her because she works for Aeroside.
There's nothing wrong with Aeroside. There has to be
Course
some
not,
kind
of
of
course
logical
not.
explanation as
See
to
what I'm
what's going
saying,
on
Luke?
here.
We're on the side of the truth. We're trying to find out what's going on.
I'm on the side of the truth too.
We want to know why there's so much trash anywhere near your settlement. And listen, I'm a big guy. You're pretty small.
I am all of 4 feet tall! Respect!
That's pretty tall. Respect.
Thank you.
I will follow you. I wouldn't make a second. I'd even play your people a few tunes, little ditties I've been working
You play
on.
music?
I have a guitar.
I like that. Let's do it.
All right.
I've been working on the ukulele, but I'm not too good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
just
should
a few
jam.
chords.
Yeah.
Jam. I like the sound of that. Can she walk a few feet behind us while we head on over into the camp?
She's all right.
I mean,
She's just a mouthpiece.
So you're moving now towards the outpost. And Hank, if you'd be so kind, could you flip our hourglass, or half hourglass, yet again? As Loop and the squirrel and the rest of you move ahead, you suddenly approach a thick, green, perfectly kept line. It's green because on the opposite side is a pristine landscape. It's unlike anything you've seen on your side of the line, which is filled with so much trash. And on the other side of the green is a sign that says, "Welcome to Everglades National Park." You also see up ahead, about 300 feet or so, that there's a cul-de-sac of a little rusted automobile shacks. They're rainbow colored. They have roofs that are made of various assembled materials. There's movement and noise. People are moving around the outpost.
Welcome. friends, sort of, people, acquaintances, something. I'm figuring that out still.
We're your friends.
We are, but
This is beautiful. How did you all do this?
we work as a community. We help each other out, like people should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, we were told that all the people that are still moving around have. This is gonna sound a little off the wall, but
Magic.
Magic. Thank you.
Apparently,
Okay.
we're all magic.
We are all magic. Okay. So stupid.
So you guys have known that.
For a very long time.
Well, we just found out.
Wait. You are magic?
MAGIC.
I know how to spell the magic.
You're
I just
magic.
I don't understand.
magic.
I am not magic though.
I mean, you smell like magic, lady.
I mean, you don't have to call it magic. You can call it unknown science that we just don't have a handle on yet.
But there has to be some kind of explanation for these
Absolutely, there are explanations for things. We just don't know them at this moment. If that makes it easier for you, then that's what you can call it. Unknown science.
You're very perceptive. I like that.
So perceptive that you notice, looking around you, that there are 3 different shacks in this, in a half-moon shape. And at the center of the shape is a shimmering campfire pit with a spit roast and other cooking equipment. But no one here eats meat. The rod is for quick drying and welding purposes. The shack on the right, Loop would know, is the community pantry. The elemental prepare their community meals for the outpost in the shack, and then around 5 p.m. every day they have a family meal. You can see that it's been torn apart. It seems like the back of this shack has been pulled away. Looks like a giant claw mark has swept through one side of it. There are outpost members working on reconstructing it, and the food is moved to the fire pit area as they work. The shack in the center behind the fire pit is a community meditation room, and it's used only for quiet reflection outside of nature. And the third shack is a shack that looks very out of place on the left. It's constructed from all different kinds of materials and metals. Written in the handwriting that looks like a 5-year-old, it says, Steve sells Steve shells by the seashore store. It's written on the front, like a child wrote it. It's like a community kitchen, and at the back of the store, it looks like it was pried open. And behind these 3 shacks are teepees and little huts that people have set up for themselves, where the elementals sleep.
Did something attack?
We are not quite sure yet what it was because we have not seen it. But we assume it's quite large and resides in the swamp nearby.
You're worried about it?
We think it might have hoarding abilities and destructive abilities, so yes, it still hasn't eaten any babies, but
It takes things.
Yet, right now, we're at a bit of a crossroads while we need to regroup and figure out our next moves.
I would like to help. I think we need to check in with Steve because he really,
Is that his shack?
that's his shack, and he is one of the elders who likes to.
Yeah, let's meet Steve.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Okay.
a good guy.
Steve-O!
Great.
Steve-O.
Hey, yes! Welcome to Steve Sells Seashells by the Seashore Store. I'm Steve. And you meet this wonderful, fantastic serpent man who has a trucker hat that says NASA and a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, and he's behind the counter. He says, I'm Steve.
Oh my god.
I used to work at a recycling shop, but it was soul destroying.
Oh, Steve.
Steve, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Yama. This is Onyx. This is Hank.
It's nice to meet you all.
You seem like a rad dude, Steve. This pleasure's ours.
Likewise. Well, if there's anything in my shop that interests you, don't hesitate to ask.
What is he? Oh my god, what is he? It's all right.
You need to relax, lady. Take your lavender Xanax. Steve, I wanted to bring these kind people in so we could show them around and...
I start looking around, but I just cannot help but notice that is a lizard creature. I just can't take my eyes off of him. I've never seen anything like that before.
Hey, say, what happens when you go to the bathroom when you're in France?
Tell me, Steve.
European!
That's good. That's a good one.
Sorry to interrupt. Been working on some new jokes.
Do you do stand-up, Steve?
I don't really stand up. As you can see, I stick to my wheels. Did you hear the rumor about butter?
I didn't.
Well, I'm not gonna spread it.
That's Steve. He's just a good guy.
Steve, you...
Doesn't like gossip.
We're gonna have a look around real quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't touch!
I'm not touching anything.
Steve, I got a question, Steve, before
Yes!
you roll away.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that we shouldn't touch?
Oh. Everything. Hey, you want to hear a joke about construction?
I do, yes!
I'm still working on it.
Ah! Excellent! What's in the store? What are we
Looking around?
So you look around this store, and it seems like there are items from everywhere. This is like a gift shop of all gift shops. There's postcards from Paris, New York. There are snow globes. There's random signs that say "Home is where the heart is." There are strange playing cards and hula dashboard dancers. There's rock and roll posters. There's whoopee cushions. But there's nothing to do with the Everglades whatsoever.
Great. You seem quite well traveled, Steve.
Oh yes, I know people. Imports and exports, mostly.
What? Steve, what does that mean? You know people? Have you been to these places?
Oh, I've been to some of them, but, you know.
Do you have anything special?
Certainly do. If you look over here in this, and he points you to a big, low cabinet with glass, like a would be in a glass blower shop or a jewelry store, and you look down in there, and there is a ring. Maybe it's a magical ring, but it's definitely set aside. It's got a leaf, like a flower and leaf vine motif going around. It's a rose gold ring. There's also other bits and baubles, little pieces and things that look like they could be jewelry, but most of it just looks like junk. Is there anything in particular you're looking for that I can help you with?
I tap on the glass above this ring that you described, and I ask, is there anything particularly special about this ring?
Oh yes, this is the ring of animal handling. It could come quite in handy on your adventures, should you cross paths with any animals.
How much you asking for?
Oh, for that?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we don't deal with any of that debit or credit. This is a strictly magical gemstone type operation. But that there is 50 gems.
50 gems. You know, we're just browsing for now, Steve. Look, we're actually from New York. Let me point to one of the New York postcards. Things there are a little odd. There was an explosion. An explosion that is set to pretty much destroy most of the eastern seaboard and Europe. But it's in pause right now. Time is stopped for everybody who's not magical. Apparently we're magical.
Of course
Really
we're
are.
magical.
They need help on that playing
Sure.
field.
Steve, what do you know about Loop?
Say, I think Loop is a upstanding friend.
We go way back.
I'd like that story later. We're looking for answers. We're looking for our next steps on how we can help mitigate this crisis.
Say, do we trust these folks, Loop? Can we let them in on our
I trust a
troubles?
few of them. I'm still figuring Lavender Lou out over here.
Steve, have you ever heard a song about yourself?
Say, a song about me?
Steve.
I would love
I'd
a
expect
song
there to be
about
many
me.
songs about you having been in the works.
Say,
over the
I've
years.
never heard any.
Ow!
But I'll trade you a song for a joke.
Well, you've given us a few jokes already for free. That wouldn't
Free
be very fair.
samples.
I'll trade you a song for a ring.
Say, that ring is far too valuable, but if you're a little light in the gemstone department, I do have an idea that you might be interested in.
All right.
Say, Loop, if you'd be so kind as to show these friends the way, we have a bit of an ogre problem here.
I hadn't specified the creature.
Ogres. How big are these ogres?
Quite large, given their nature. This is probably a full-grown ogre, and it has been rather stealing from our shops and camp. I'm missing a certain favorite collection of Pokemon cards I would like returned to me.
Oh, hell no.
And some shiny things.
I have a shiny, holofoiled, first edition Charizard.
Oh,
Which
hell
I would
no.
like back, and I am very suspect that this ogre has taken it, as well as other gems and, let us guess, shiny objects.
Well, is he
I like shiny
open
stuff.
to negotiations? Is that...
Everyone is open to negotiations.
Yeah, let's go negotiate with them.
We haven't quite seen him very much.
Oh, he'll want to negotiate
He's
with us.
stealthy.
I'm very good with people.
Really?
Yeah.
Which way did these ogres go?
That way.
Shall
You were
we?
gonna sing Steve a song before this all goes down, though.
I sure would
I was
mind a
considering
song.
it.
Potato would be so excited.
Well, Steve said he'd rather have us deal with the ogres first, and maybe we'll get to a song later.
How do we know we can trust your word?
I want that ring.
Just give us a little song.
Can you do 4 bars?
Just do it.
I don't know what those mean, but I know they're like sentences.
Just maybe at least the bass line. Give them what the bass line will sound like.
All right. I'll take out my guitar, but I'll just play it like a bass, just the first 4. And we'll do a little boom 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 boom. Steve, hanging out in the Everglades, gonna make it go away. These ogre problems for Steve and his people. Magic people, magic. Boom 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 boom.
Hey!
That's just the
Hey,
taste.
I really like it.
That was so
It's
good.
got a nice ring to it. So
Go on.
will you help me return this very important collection and anything else that you might find with the ogre? You're welcome to keep for yourself, and maybe even bring it back to the store, and we'll see if we can't make a deal.
Yeah. You take us into your settlement. Absolutely. It's the least we can do.
I think we got an extra shack we could have them share.
Well, it sounds like a plan. So our adventurers have agreed to help Hank with this problem, and you are going to be leaving this 3-shack circle. It's a semicircle of buildings at the outpost, and you begin walking out past all these huts and teepees and makeshift camps that people have been living in as they work on this cleanup effort to try to maintain this pristine line of nature where they are, away from the garbage. You see that there are a lot of other rangers along the outpost. There are people that Loop has seen come and go before, and both sides of you there are tents, clothes strewn over rocks. Everyone is moving about happily and freely, and they notice you with appreciation, not with suspicion. They're glad to have you here now that Loop seems to be convinced that you are trustworthy enough for now.
So I don't mean to sound insensitive or stupid,
But
Here we go.
ogre? Lizard man? Am I the only one who has never seen or heard of any creature like this except in fairy tales?
well,
Alright, well, yeah.
to be honest with you, there really wasn't magic or unexplained science much around in the world these days. I don't know if you have had different experiences, but my family from way, way back when were tieflings.
Tieflings?
Yeah. Infernal, sort of like a lot of the devil imagery from the past and the Christian religions. A lot of it's based on that.
You're Catholic, right?
No.
Oh,
Should I be?
no. Just continue, please.
Well, and it's never really been an issue. You know, we've been very proud of our heritage. It's just that lately with the core drilling, something I think has been awakening inside all of us. Something that is a lot more of a hearkening back to that.
So you are tiefling. Ashima is the tiefling.
She doesn't want to admit it, but yeah.
Oh my.
What are you?
I'm a human.
Right.
No, there's more to it.
A human that has to
Why-
moisturize every 30 minutes.
Why
Listen,
are
I
you
was
not
born with a skin condition, okay?
Does anybody else in your family have that skin condition?
Yes.
That's what them dermatologists say, because they don't understand.
Take out my moisturizer and I start putting it back on.
Why are you
And just then, this short, fat little man comes up to you and he says, "Hey, I heard what y'all are going to be doing, and I appreciate you saving us from this monster. This is a monster that has been a big problem for us here at this outpost. And whew, I tell you what, this is not a monster from the natural world. This is a monster born from the unnatural acts of men."
Thank you, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo dawdles off.
Ronaldo.
It doesn't mean to scare you all. It's the truth.
Do you know Ronaldo well?
We all know each other relatively well.
And what did he mean exactly by the unnatural acts of man?
Yeah.
Does it have to do with all the pollution and the drilling and all of that? Have you guys been seeing an increase in unexplained creatures?
We know that the earth is falling apart, but we live in a safe haven that we have worked very hard to protect.
Except for this ogre.
We'd like to think he's coming probably from New York City, who knows? But one of those places where...
We don't have ogres in New York City.
It does sound
That's
like
what you think,
are.
lady.
How about you?
Did you grow up here?
I grew up moving around quite a bit, but I've been around for several hundred years.
For 100 years.
I think she has some chicken in her. It's like chicken mixed
Several
with like...
hundred years?
It's a lot to take in.
All I know is that since the explosion, since we figured out that everyone who is normal can't move or speak, that dwarf in the subway told us about us being magic. If you move, you gotta be magic now, right?
Just then, Ronaldo kind of dawdles back up to you. It's clear he's been drinking. "Hey, Luke, would you mind telling my wife that I'm coming with you hunting this ogre if she comes looking for me?"
Is that a good idea, Luke?
And he kind of dawdles off the other way.
Ronaldo could be a great help.
Was he actually coming, or is he just wanted us to say that to his
I
wife?
think
How
he's
drunk-
excited with the new people in town.
How-
We don't get a lot of
But he's
newcomers.
asking to lie to his wife. I think.
It looks like
Doesn't really
Ronaldo's,
wanna come.
Ronaldo actually has fallen over now. He's just
See, he's not
just
coming. He's not
completely
going
passed out, face down in the dirt.
He's not, but he speaks the truth. Because you know, alcohol is a truth serum.
Yeah, especially for Ronaldo's.
Oh no, when he drinks, it's all just.
You can hear Ronaldo say like, "I'm pretty sure someone's gonna stop an ogre. I hope that someone does. Sure ain't gonna be
He's
me."
trying to get us back on track to this ogre situation.
All right.
Let's go
Move
find
away
this
from the magic and the disbelief. Just
ogre. Ogre, yeah, an ogre. Okay, yeah, that's
you
fine.
want me to trust you? You gotta trust me, okay, lady?
Will you lead the way?
We are going to go together because I don't go hunting for ogres often.
No, will you lead the way? We'll follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then with Loop in the lead, you move out past the outpost. Like the pristine green line that marked the beginning of the outpost, there's a new line that marks the beginning of the wild. And as you keep walking forward, you move into the untamed and uninhabited expanse. It's more natural than the outpost itself. The air is even more humid, it's thick, there's no roads or trodden paths, the grass feels higher and more unruly. It feels like it's twilight, even though it's the afternoon.
Hey, you know you can do that lavender stuff. I hear peppermint oil's really good with the mosquitoes. Maybe you want to try that one?
Peppermint.
Grab a little of this grass and you just rub it on you and you're good, lady.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And there are mosquitoes everywhere and big flies that assault your face, but this spray, this magical aura of scent seems to be keeping them back for the most part.
So, Loop, is there anything we need to keep an eye out for?
Well, birds usually give me the eyes when they've seen people up front, but
What?
they have.
Birds give you eyes?
We communicate.
That's awesome.
I like small creatures, and they like me. I would like to know if I look forward and what I see in the near future. Are there footprints? Are there animal prints? Do we?
Sure, do you
Come
want to do
across.
a survival check? You want to roll your
Sure.
D20, your 20-sided die, and we'll determine what it is you can see out in the wilderness ahead of you.
16, baby.
16, plus you get to add
Plus
some things to
0.
it, yeah? Oh, sweet.
Solid ranger.
You see ahead of you that there's muddy water and grass that eventually gives way to a higher bank of land to your right. The bank of land is grassy, but it's a little bit more shaded than where you are right now, and you can hear the static of a waterfall off in the distance. And it looks like you can't tell exactly what has come through this way, but it looks like if you were to follow the path towards the waterfall, you'd be walking where someone or something has recently walked.
Have you people had anything to drink lately? Or are you thirsty? This water is clean.
Oh. Yeah, you know, we haven't really...
You
I'm a little
also
peckish.
might want to shower because it's been a while since you've connected to the elemental of water.
Okay, so I just start taking fistfuls of water and
You've
sipping it
moved
up.
now to this
Move
waterfall.
forward to this
Got it.
water.
Yeah.
You've come down and there's a waterfall in front of you, and there's enough of a pool that you're drinking from.
I'd
Yeah.
like to make a quick check behind the waterfall before I drink.
So it's a very large waterfall. It's a 100-foot tall.
How beautiful.
This is a 100-foot tall waterfall.
What?
Yeah, baby.
You guys have approached from over here. You guys are right here.
You stand here.
Oh, so the waterfall's coming down from the cliff we're on?
Yeah, so the waterfall, you would be looking up to see this waterfall. Down this way, like this ravine, is about a 20-foot drop. It would...
Show them upstream, downstream real quick.
Yeah, so this is upstream, the water's coming this way, flowing down the waterfall, downstream this way.
Alright, well...
Also, everybody's super hyped about this map right now.
Yes,
And this is a bridge.
amazing.
And that's a bridge.
Yeah, so this is a bridge.
This is a great spot, and if you say
Yeah.
it's safe, then maybe we can take a short nap here, refresh ourselves a little bit.
The tree.
All right, I'm just being called to the water. It looks so beautiful and refreshing. I take off my jacket and I take off my shoes and I get in.
So it's a 20-foot jump down to here.
Oh, okay. Well, I get in anyway.
Onyx jumps 20 feet. We should roll some sort of Constitution
Oh
saving
my
throw,
gosh.
right?
Wait, whoa.
Sure you want to jump 20 feet down?
You
I
should
wanna
take.
Oh no, she's jumped.
She needs to. She
Give me
should
an
have taken
acrobatics
all her
check.
clothes
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Yeah, take an
off. Jumped in with her
acrobat.
Not
clothing.
really good at acrobatics.
Well, should have jumped off a cliff then, I suppose.
Does that?
All right, well, I got an 8.
An 8.
Baby, I roll again? No.
Yeah.
If
Because
you
you
want,
can't-
you
you
do have
should.
advantage.
And
And
use
die,
your
lady.
waterfall.
you want to use your advantage?
Yes.
All right, Water. Water is using her advantage because otherwise
I
Onyx
use your
would have
dash?
probably
Otherwise she
wrecked
don't.
her face so bad.
All right.
All right, roll for it a second time.
13.
13. All right, very good.
How do you jump off this cliff? Describe how
I-
gracefully you do it.
You know, I haven't gone swimming in a long time, but I just feel this, like, I just feel very in tune, and I swan dive beautifully off of the edge, and I just land just a little splash of water, and I just am swimming like a tadpole.
So, you do manage to successfully jump off the cliff.
Yes.
Excellent jump.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
form, swan dive. However, the river is about 2 feet deep, and you do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god!
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So mark that on your character sheet that you will take 2 points against your hit points.
Sorry, I don't write the rules.
Fine. You know what? I was enthusiastic.
Miss
What kind of
Delmira?
waterfall, I want to know,
Well, you jumped
goes
over
down 100 feet into a 2-foot riverbed?
She jumped over here. Look. Here's where we're looking at.
Oh,
Oh, I thought I was jumping from here.
yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, you didn't.
All right.
Like at
you
the
take
base.
1 point.
You take.
One?
We'll give you a compromise. Also, Hank takes 1 point of sass damage.
All right, so you are using your time in the water for your short rest.
Yeah.
Is anybody else doing anything? Hank wanted to investigate around the.
I thought we were taking a rest.
You can rest and investigate as
Rest
you
and
go.
investigate. So
Just
I'll,
floating on
rest
my
means
back.
I'll investigate from this tree.
You over here?
No, this tree.
Oh, there we go. I see. There's a camera feed. That's convenient.
Yep. All right, so you're investigating from here. What are you looking towards, Hank?
I'm looking down the other side of the cliffs over here and on either side of the bridge.
You're looking at either side of the bridge. You want to roll an investigation check? Sure.
Sure.
So, even without an investigation check, before you roll that, you notice that in a cliff face across the river, there is an opening in the
Oh
rocks.
yes, we can see that.
That is apparent to everybody who's looking.
A cave opening?
Some kind of opening.
In fact, looks very much like a cave.
Oh.
Hank couldn't be bothered really to even open his eyes.
So,
For
you
this
see that there's an opening.
But beyond that, he sees nothing.
Got it? You can see that you have dark vision, right?
I do have dark
You can see that the opening does, in fact, seem to lead to a deep chamber, but that's about all I got.
And I also looked at the bridge. What does the bridge look like?
Did you look at the bridge
I did.
as part of that?
I tried to, but I couldn't even.
Well, it's a rope
I'm too
bridge in that
tired.
case.
So he's
You see
just
that it's a
gonna-
rope bridge. Somebody else might investigate the
Hank
bridge
sees a
more
rope
particularly. Thank you, Danny, for delivering a note to Hank. Hank, just watch leaning in too much.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is Loop
4 feet tall.
and Yama? What are you up to during all this?
I have taken about to gather some berries and fruits in nearby trees because these people are gonna faint on me.
Uh-huh.
They've been on the road for a while, so I feel like I gotta give them some.
Sweet. Collecting some
Rub.
group snacks.
Yes.
Group snacks, love snacks.
So as you look around, you also notice, not a surprise to you, but there are lizards here, salamanders, and little tropical animals like birds and insects that are fluttering around. So you feel like everything is pretty normal for the day here. What were we gonna say?
You answered my question.
Sweet.
I'm gonna hang out with Luke. If you don't mind, can I just tag along with you?
Yeah, you seem cool
Oh, thanks. You seem cool.
and intelligent.
So, if you guys do want to take a short rest in and around this area, that does mean at some point you have to like sit, stop doing stuff.
Yeah, it's just the glasses. How long have you all been here? You seem to live a really great balanced life. That's not really something that most of the world has these days.
We've reached it through a lot of hard work and compromise and community building. We do a lot of those exercises where you do the blind free fall to trust everybody.
Trust falls.
Those things.
You do
yeah.
trust falls.
We do trust falls.
Oh.
It's a way to build trust.
That's nice. I always wished that there was more of this kind of thing around.
I feel like New York should learn how to do trust falls.
Yeah, I think maybe if more people did trust falls in this world, it would be a better place.
We see eye to eye. I like this. I have a question. Should we consider sleeping in the cave for a bit? Because they
You
do
could-
need rest more than a tiny nap. I mean, her eyes are starting to,
Yeah.
you know.
You could rest anywhere you decide to rest, and we don't have to. We'll just decide we take a rest in a place, and then it'll happen. It'll pass.
Okay.
So you can discuss amongst yourselves where you might want to set up your mini rest, which would be an hour, maybe.
4 hours.
Okay.
4 hours.
4 hours is a short rest, but we'll be flexible with it.
Alright, so I get up out of the water, I do a really dramatic with my hair. I'm feeling so refreshed, like I've never felt before. And I go up to you, I see you, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I am-
You look very
I
refreshed.
am so good. Feels great to be out in nature.
Yeah?
It's been a long time.
Has it?
Yeah,
It's nice you ditched your jacket.
it's too hot here.
It's very hot in the south.
He's
Yeah.
starting to let loose a little.
I open up my moisturizer and I put some more on.
You know, if you just use more of that grass I gave you and put it on your face, you
Oh no, this is prescription.
suit yourself.
Should we snooze for a little bit or?
Let's take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this seem fitting to y'all's here?
Well, just
Or would you
interesting.
like-
Bottom of the
we-
cliff there? Yeah.
At the bottom of the cliff?
Maybe right under
Or
the tree.
Under the tree?
Under the tree.
Alright.
Alright.
here?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
All right. So our adventurers gather around underneath this tree. They take some shade in the afternoon sun. It's a little bit cooler here, and for a short rest, they rest their weary legs and various magical abilities so that they might be used again later in the narrative.
Sure, yeah, we're gonna go a little bit off rules here just to keep it moving along. Because it's a short rest, everybody gets back 1d4's worth of hit points, so just roll. If you're damaged, take a d4, roll a die. You'll get that many hit points back. It's not exactly per the rules, but we're keeping it moving. So now it's late afternoon.
It's late afternoon.
Lights low.
The light is low, and you feel like it might be time to do what you were born to do.
What were they going to do?
I don't know. We'll find out soon.
We'll find out soon.
So you rouse from your nap, feeling refreshed and newly healthy.
The
Maybe
cave,
have
the cave
some-
has like been beckoning. I felt like I was half dreaming about what's going on inside that cave.
Did you have a vision? Because those things mean something here.
It was more just like a bunch of grumbles, but every time the grumble got louder, there'd be like a glow coming out of the cave, as if I were looking at it from this tree.
That sounds like a vision.
Okay, sure, a vision then. But I think maybe we should check this bridge out before we head to that cave.
Well, we need to cross it in order to get to it, unless you want
Yeah, but
to.
it looks kind of rickety.
Yeah, it does.
For you big people, yes.
Well, maybe you could, small person, could go check it out first,
Potato and I'll cross just fine.
right?
But we should
Oh, it's-
roll to see if everybody's going to survive crossing that bridge.
You want to
If-
check out this bridge?
Yeah.
let's do it. So Loop and Potato at her side are going to investigate. Or you want to do a investigation check?
So yeah, like you guys can all cross the bridge. I'm not gonna make you roll for crossing the bridge.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
good.
But if you want to look at the bridge, you gotta investigate.
Yeah. So
So we
Loop's going
check
to
it
investigate.
out.
Man, I thought Potato was hanging out with Doggo.
Well, they're with us. What do you think? They've been tagging along the whole
Oh.
time. I don't go anywhere without Potato.
Oh. Okay, that's good. Good. Great.
So we look at this bridge and what's it made of?
Roll a d20 for me and tell me what you get.
Add a investigation modifier. Which
Woo!
for you.
I get 18.
Oh, she's
18. Never
Nice.
mind. You're glorious.
-1.
So when you look at this,
Minus
My
1.
investigation.
when you look at this bridge, you realize it's a rope bridge that's about 20 feet across to the other side. There are planks that aren't very secured to the ropes, but they only loosely rest without any attachment. You notice that there is nothing holding the bridge together at the near end. In fact, the entire structure seems to rest only on a single rope that's doubled back on itself. The rope is securely fastened on the far side of the bank, nearer to this cave's entrance. So, you can it is stable enough that you can, all four of you could adventure safely across, but you notice on your side of the bridge there's nothing really anchoring or holding this bridge up. It's all rigged to a rope on the cave side of
Why
the
is
bridge.
this even here?
Can we anchor it a little more before
Or
we
like
cross it?
the stream is like 2 feet deep. We could just wade across.
Well,
Is this a drawbridge?
Current is very strong.
It's not a drop, so it's a rope bridge. So again, like there's like the stream is about 20 feet below the sort of cliff. So it's like it's enough of ways down that you could acrobatically climb down, wade across, climb up, or you could do the convenient thing, which is to have the rope
Alright, let's
bridge.
just go across the bridge.
Okay, alright, let's go.
All
You
right.
go first.
It's not a useless bridge if
I
somebody
cross
wants.
first with Potato. And
Loop and Potato cross the bridge first. Who's behind them?
I'll go behind.
I feel like Onyx could.
I'll pick up Doggo and
Thank you.
put
Should
him
I?
on my
I'll bring up the
shoulder.
rear.
All right, Hank brings up the rear, and you guys are moving along your way to the entrance of that cave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to volunteer to go in first.
Do it. You
All
big.
right. So as Hank walks up towards the front of this cave, the dog starts to bark into the mouth of the cave.
Whoa, shh. It's okay. What's up?
I want to
Doggo doesn't like what's in there.
peer inside
something's
the cave.
wrong.
Anything?
You peer inside of the cave
With dark vision.
with dark vision inside of the dark cave.
You see a large chamber. Definitely, with your dark vision, as your eyes adjust, you can see that it's maybe about 30 or so feet deep, and it looks like it narrows in and rounds a corner. Like you can see a big empty space, something that looks like rocks, maybe some like weird like organic-looking stuff piled up against one wall. Big empty kind of cave, and then a narrower passage that turns away from where you can see. Case. I'm gonna need all you guys to roll for initiative.
Alright.
Just as you walk into the mouth of the cave,
No.
from this part here of the cave comes a creature.
So here's who you're up against, and I'm going to describe a bit of the environment that you notice around you in this split second. All
For the
right.
record, the dog got a 4
The
initiative.
dog got a 4. Wonderful.
Does Potato need to roll?
Potato's right up with you, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean usually.
No, we're gonna
Okay.
play Potato as an animal familiar, so he does not get a separate initiative. He has bonuses that we'll talk about later.
Amazing.
So you notice around you there are human skulls and crushed bones. There's clearly a rubbish pile, which is stuff that the ogre didn't want. And on top of that pile, you might notice out of the corner of your eye something shiny that looks just enough like a holofoil first edition Charizard Pokemon card. Gloriously placed. There's other things there like postcards, clown shoes, a dog cone, random things. The cave itself is about 50 feet high. It's still very dank and sticky. It's even worse than the outside. Here's our ogre.
Ooh.
That's disgusting.
Alright.
Okay, and sadly, you do not have the element of surprise. In fact, the ogre is waiting for you to come, so he or it, not to gender these monsters, is coming
Gender is
right
fluid.
at you. Gender is in fact fluid. So the ogre closes the distance to the first person. Sorry, I'm trying to move this around. To the first person that they encounter. Whose token is that?
Hank!
Hank, our guy in the front. And the ogre reaches up with a big, like wooden, gross, rotting club and just swings down at you. And what, my friend, is your armor class?
11.
Ooh, this is a slow,
Can I dodge?
kind of dumb ogre, and you manage to dodge out of the way. Onyx, it is your turn.
Okay, I look at this creature, kind of blowing my mind that this is what's in front of us, but all of a sudden I feel like I have x-ray vision and I can see into its defenses.
Lovely.
So using True Strike,
Yes.
is that it? You determine.
You determine that it is a big, meaty, dumb ogre with very few abilities besides moving slowly and swinging big things at you.
Okay. No
So,
abilities. Okay.
he moves much slower than you.
All right. Can I do something else, or is that it?
You can move.
Okay. I move.
So you can try to squeeze by. It looks like there's a bit of a bottleneck. You
Yeah.
can try to squeeze by here, but if you do that, you might actually be engaged in combat.
No. I'm not going to do that. I am going to kind of step in front of Luke to shield Luke.
I'd like to run around behind him
Okay.
and take my sword out from my hidden slot in its guitar case and bring it on the back of his head.
Oh, lovely. Let's try that. So D20 plus strength plus proficiency. Are you proficient in the longsword?
He's proficient with
Yes.
longsword.
Strength and proficiency, my friend.
20.
Not a natural 20.
No.
So yeah, you managed to make contact. Roll a. Are you doing two-handed?
Two-handed.
Roll a D10 for me, please. 10.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
describe to me how you slash a big meaty slash across the back of this ogre.
I take the sword down and put the blade right into the nape of its neck, right through its spine.
It does not enjoy that.
It really hates that.
Now that you've moved around to the back of it, anybody that wanted to move along this wall could avoid getting engaged by the ogre if they wanted to move across. If they wanted to move this way, though, they might get swiped at or swung at by the ogre.
I feel like Luke
Luke,
screams,
you're up.
"Run!" And I run around avoiding that shizzy that's going down.
Wise. Do you do anything else? Do you attack?
I
Which-
feel like Lady Onyx
Lady
helped
Onyx, I like that.
shield me earlier, so I say, "Come on, lady, let's go!"
All right, and I chase on after
Hobble
her.
along.
That'll count as your movement on the next turn if you do that. But that's
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right, I look at you and I'm like, I like you.
all right. And then Yama.
So as I'm moving in towards the cave, I'm checking around to see to check the environment. What do I see? Anything that's at all helpful? Anything about this ogre?
Clever.
Love it.
So glad to hear you do that just now.
Oh,
Yama, at some point, and this is the point, that you notice a small cylindrical tube. It's just past, I would say it's, let's say it's at the feet of the ogre between where, can you point here on the map for
sorry.
me? It's right about here, lower.
Sorry. Where am I going? Here we go.
Lower. There you go. Right about there. You notice that there's a small cylindrical tube covered in dust. And maybe it's even covered in some dried blood. And you see a familiar symbol just barely uncovered on it. There's two diamonds on top of each other in opposite directions.
The diamond in the rough.
okay. So I move forward,
Gems.
and it's right next to him, right?
Yeah, it's right up next to him.
And so I reach out towards it, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, I want that. And then suddenly, from one of the walls sprouts out a plant. And it reaches forward and vine whips.
Ooh.
and grabs toward this vial.
Nice.
I'm like, holy shit!
Is that thorn whip
Yeah,
spell?
thorn whip.
Awesome.
That is very exciting.
So some of the mossy vine that's on the inside of the cave whips forward and on your behalf wraps itself around this cylinder with the diamonds on it and snaps it back, pulls it up against the cave wall.
I'll allow it. Interestingly enough, while all this is happening, the dog seems to have, gotten into, its defensive. Even though it's a little puppy, it's gotten really eager to defend you guys. And actually, the dog rolled a critical 20.
Oh, does it? What does the dog do with its
Actually
critical
rolled
20 roll?
a critical 20, and it hits. It actually bites the ogre right in his ankle and does a good amount of biting damage.
Ooh, good boy, doggo.
The ogre is very upset.
He's incredibly upset. He's thrashing around and knocking bits and pieces of his cave around. He doesn't care. He's having an absolutely horrible, horrible day. He was just finally getting some sleep, and then you showed up and ruined his vibe.
He mostly swings at the dog, but everybody who's kind of near him is going to potentially be subject to this club that swings out wide over his head, and he bears the club down, just thinking he's about to try to flatten this doggo, and the doggo manages to move away just in time.
Just barely gets away.
Way to go, doggo!
Oh my god.
Onyx, you're up.
Alright, so I'm gonna look around and see if I can use my investigation to see if I can find these treasures that Steve-O was talking about, and see if I see them shining anywhere.
Where
what part
are
of
you,
the cave
Onyx?
are they?
You're right there. Okay, cool.
So, if I'll point to me back here,
Sure.
you observe back in sort of like this...
Oh, she can't see. She's got
it's true. Using your... she has her lighter out.
She can see up to here.
You can tell that beyond the ogre, past deeper into the cave, there's just a ton of stuff. You don't know what it is, but it's rubble or it's stuff back there.
Alright, you know what? What to do? Okay. I'm gonna move towards Loop,
Okay.
and this ogre needs a distraction. So, he likes shiny things, right? He likes something that's shiny, and so I imagine a shiny, looks like a giant kind of stone sculpture thing. And it appears by the entrance of the cave.
Okay.
Super shiny.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that works, and the ogre is going to have disadvantage because it's distracted on its next attack.
Yes.
Nice.
Hank.
The ogre's fully distracted?
The ogre is distracted in that he's going to do worse at how bad he's been doing already. Maybe you want to roll the next ones for the ogre?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Let's crush him.
Well, when Onyx checked its defenses, did we find out, how tough it is?
It's pretty stupid.
It's pretty stupid.
And slow.
And slow, but,
That's about it.
okay.
That's all that spell gives you, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
No resistances, no...
I mean, the sword did some good damage. Let's try to finish it off.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do some swingy.
And I'll also protect the rest of the group from... I'll bottle the ogre towards the outside with me,
Okay.
in between him and the rest of the cave.
Got it.
So he's over here now, and I'm like that. That makes sense?
Yeah, great. Give him a good swing. So plus strength plus proficiency.
It appears, it's still only a 7.
The ogre is big, but lumbering, and perhaps moved out of the way just in time. Loop.
Do I have my weapons?
You have everything in your pack.
I love it. Okay. So, I'm very tiny, and I pull out my axe. And I am nimble, but a little bit, what's that word when I stumble?
Clumsy?
Clumsy, thank you. So
Nimble
I
and-
stumble, and I'm clumsy, and I'm gonna hack at its foot, but I only hack off a big toe.
You want to
Hand
hack
axe?
off his big toe? It's a light axe and a hand axe and a light hammer. What you have. So with your hand axe, you're going to swing it at his foot, going to chop off one of his toes.
But I'm clumsy, and I go. Ha! I only hack off a toe, not more than I wanted to.
Well, so let's even
Want to roll a die to find out how
Let's
well it
do it.
goes?
The
You might
20?
do better than you thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a go.
do 20 plus your strength.
Dexterity.
Actually, no, plus your strength.
Strength, so you're holding it, you're not throwing it.
A 7.
And
Plus-
are you proficient?
I'm super strong.
What's your strength modifier?
Oh, 14 plus 2.
Plus 2, so
Plus
7
2.
plus 2 plus
nine.
So that's 9.
proficiency? Shit,
No.
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 Okay.
Yeah,
At your
unfortunately.
toe.
But I also ask Little Potato to help gnaw off the other toe because that is this creature's balance.
A coordinated.
Is that helpful?
A coordinated attack. I think you could probably.
I was gonna say, like, I think that if it wasn't for Potato, that might not have succeeded, but I'm gonna give you advantage because Potato is distracting the ogre. So try your roll again.
Okay.
What happens?
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
Oh,
Damn, and you know it's horrible how this goes for you. But hold on.
Wait, do I get that other roll because I'm water?
Onyx already used it for her jump
Yeah.
into
Sorry.
the wonderful.
Okay.
her swan dive into the river.
When you swung your hand axe forward, trying to cut off his toe, you did stumble duck, as your name might suggest, and you in fact just helped this ogre out by clipping his toenails, which have been far too long unclipped. So he looks down and notices that he looks a little prettier than he did before.
And he goes, oh, thank you.
Yama.
So I look over at the cave wall at this vine that's holding this vial and pick it up. What is this?
So you go to retrieve the vial
Yeah.
out of the vine, and you look in it. You notice that there is in fact dried blood on the outside of this cylinder. It's not a cylinder like you've seen before. This is very, very unusual to you, and you decide you might want to tuck that away for further research.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I can pick that up.
You can also move now that you've done some kind of investigation and stuff.
Okay, so that was full action. Then was the
It was
looking at it and
investigating the
picking it up.
vial. So
Okay.
each round of combat, each turn is about 6 seconds of real time.
Okay. I'll move towards the back of the cave.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
And as you do that, Doggo McChoppenstein over here, another 4 points of damage on this ogre.
Nice.
Ooh, lovely.
So, as this combat is proceeding, you guys are seeing, especially those of you engaging directly with the ogre with swords, perhaps, that you're hurting it, but he's big, he's lumbering, and this might be a long fight. He doesn't seem to be slowing down or weakening. He just seems to be getting
much more powerful than you.
dumber and angrier.
Can we offer to sing Kumbaya?
You can do it literally whatever you want.
Maybe it just needs some love.
Hank, what's your armor class?
11.
Unfortunately, you do get broadsided by a club.
Oh, crunchy.
Crunchy
How much damage
club.
is done?
And you unfortunately do suffer 4 points of blunt force trauma.
Damn, bro.
However, Onyx, what do you do?
Okay, this doesn't seem to be working very well. I can't see very well. I know Yama just went deeper into the cave. Oh gosh, okay. You know what? This isn't going so well. So maybe everybody just needs to calm down. So, Lavender,
You use your prestidigitation.
my prestidigitation
To
the
produce
most
a-
beautiful lavender scent towards this ogre, and at the same time I want him to feel really sleepy.
Well, you do make the smell of lavender, but the
Yes.
pungent smell of death and swamp is so much more powerful than your lavender that the ogre notices for a second. He seems pleased. He's not put off by the smell, but then goes presently back to attacking to murder all four of you.
I think it's like putting an air freshener in a garbage truck.
Okay,
It's not up or
okay.
down.
So I'm just gonna start to move towards where I saw Yama going.
Yeah.
Great.
You're gonna follow Yama deeper into the cave.
Hank, what are we doing?
Well, these blows don't seem to be affecting this guy, so I think it's time to try something new. I'm gonna sing him a song of sweet sleep.
Ooh, all right.
I take a pinch of fine sand from the bottom of my shoe as we crossed the river recently. There's obviously some sand in my shoe. I sprinkle it in his eye and use a power of sleep to try and make him go to
This is a
sleep.
song of rest.
It's something I would have learned at the Bard College while at Juilliard. A spell.
We'll allow it.
Okay.
He studied extra hard in that regard.
Okay, so this is a fun one. So I need you to roll 5d8. So you're gonna have to get some friends to help you out with this one.
This page.
Plus 8 is 21 total.
So valiantly cast, valiantly rolled, but this guy is too meaty, too big. Excellent idea, but he's too tough to take the brunt of the sleep
So we
spell.
know that he has over 25 hit points.
Now you know.
Now you know.
These 21.
He's a
left.
big dude.
Perhaps poking him with sharp objects was not the best course
Well,
of
he's
action.
big and lumbering, so I'll move to be a barrier for the rest of the group.
Armor class? What's your armor class?
He's 11.
As you do so, you do take
Uh,
4 points of damage.
Oh no!
Jesus, we're gonna lose Hank.
oh
Oh, Hank, what's your current hit point? What are you at?
I don't actually.
no. -8.
Yeah, but I don't even know what I started with.
I can pull that up for you.
You were just at, I think, you were totally good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't have this marked on your thing. I can pull it up real quick.
I'm at -8.
Meanwhile, it is Luke's turn while I pull it up.
Alright, Luke, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop this problem of this ogre?
Feel like now I have to pull out my hammer.
You pull out your hammer.
And I climb up his side because I'm tiny.
Yes, you are tiny, and you do climb up his side.
And I start whacking into his eyeballs with my hammer!
You're gonna whack him in the eyeballs with it. Roll a d20 and add your strength modifier.
That was a 14.
14
Oh, yeah.
plus 3 for your strength modifier, right?
They're 2.
For 2. So 16. Right? No, 15. What did you roll?
14.
14, so
So
16 total.
She's good. What kind of hammer is it?
It's a light hammer.
Light
But it's
hammer.
right in.
May I quickly whisper some bardic inspiration to my new friend?
As a
Next-
bonus action?
Oh, it's a bonus action.
Yeah,
Bonus
Yes,
action.
yes.
Sure. On the end of your next turn, you bardically inspire. Please, if you would.
You
Yo, what you're doing is amazing. Keep it up. We're so enthralled by you.
Nice.
If you
Beautiful.
do choose to use it, now you have an extra d6 regular die that whenever you want to use it, you can add it to any roll. So you have hit. You have
have to use
hit
it-
with
you
the
don't have to use
hammer.
it now.
You don't have to use it now, but your hammer does d4 damage, so you roll a d4. So it's a little bitty hammer. So if you wanted to add numbers to numbers, now might be a good time.
Right. So then I roll the 6 or the 4?
And the 4.
You can roll
Both.
both and add them together.
Oh, I got to because this hammer's tiny, but right in there it's gonna make me
Well
blind.
aimed, yeah.
5 and wait, how does that thing work?
1.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
not one. That's good.
So 6.
6.
Plus 16? Or no?
No.
So the first roll was to determine whether or not you hit, and then this second roll is to determine how much damage you do.
Is 6
So
a
you-
lot?
6 is quite nice.
Okay.
You've,
Big guy.
You've,
Yeah.
He's got at least
Hank.
15 left.
You've
Hank.
stabbed him in his left eye, and he's now he obviously cannot see.
Did it
us.
pop out?
You've blinded him in his left
Oh,
eye.
we're gonna
Keep
call
it.
him blinded? Yeah, let's call him blinded or impaired for the next one. Hank, over the course of this battle, you've taken
8 damage.
8 damage.
Yes.
I don't remember. Well, you took a rest.
I did take a full
You
rest.
took a rest. So your total hit points that you started with today was your Constitution modifier, which please tell me is a positive number.
Yes, he's
+1.
Yeah.
plus 8. So your total hit points that you're starting with is
boy.
9.
Oh, Hanky boy.
You are currently at 1 hit
HP.
point.
As a
Hank,
burden.
right now, Hank, you are feeling really lightheaded. You are not very
However,
confident in your balance.
You are not engaged in one-on-one with the orc anymore, so you can move without getting smacked. And it is Yama's turn.
Luke may have just saved your life, Hank.
Okay, get the cards, get anything you can, okay? Friend ogre. You see that shiny thing that that our friend here has created? She can create many more of those, as many as you want. You don't have to steal anymore. You can just have them.
I want you to do a charisma check against how
Also-
suave you are, fancy pants.
Also, there's something different about this. Like, normally I'm very good at talking to people, but this is an extra charming thing. So, this is charm person.
Okay.
So you guys, I think, have to do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Wisdom save
tables
on the
have
fort.
Yeah.
Yep, we do. Alright.
So I can also roll a persuasion check if you would like as well.
I think that your charm person on its own is its thing, so let's roll it.
Let's do it. Do you want to do the
Okay.
others? I've been kind of...
I'll roll it up. Here we go. Big money, big money, big money.
So it's going to be d20 plus. That's my stat block here. -2.
It's a 7 minus 2.
Oh my
It's
God.
5.
Yeah, it succeeds.
So he's completely convinced that this is, more!
Yeah, the shiny things.
More.
Lots of shiny things.
Lots of shiny things. Yes. Yes.
Give me some more growls, because my throat hurts from this shit. So the ogre starts lumbering closer towards where Onyx has projected this magical illusion of a shiny gem. He's pleased with himself and moving a little closer outside of the cave door.
So yes, basically, as a charmed, now that it's charmed by you, it won't attack you, and it has taken your suggestion to move out of the mouth of the cave, so it's moved out of the mouth of the cave. However, it's not charmed by the other 3.
Ah.
And the dog helpfully barks. It is the ogre's turn. He is confused as to why he's outside. He looks around and kind of sits at the mouth of the cave for a moment.
Why?
Onyx, you're up.
Okay, this is going very well. So I am going to create just tons of gems are shining in one area, a little closer to the water.
What's the range on this?
Yeah, I think you can do
10
it.
foot.
10 feet?
Yes.
Yeah, one of those boxes is 10 feet. Is 5 feet.
It's 5 feet, so
Okay.
2 boxes worth.
Move on up and
So you want to move up there and you're going to be projecting it still outside
Yeah,
of the cave.
outside.
You're right over his shoulder, but you're projecting this shiny gem just past him. So he's looking further and further out of the cave.
He stumbles. I would say he stumbles. Kind of. You can see him stumble in this direction. Yeah. He's slow, something like 10 feet. All right, great. It is Loop's turn. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Hank's turn.
Thank God.
Hank with 1 hit point remaining.
Oh, no.
How do you feel, Hank?
Woozy.
just hang out here.
Where's this Charizard thing we're looking for?
Sorry.
Let's go find it.
So Hank is moving deeper into the cave. Do you want to investigate to see what you might find back there?
No, I'm gonna use a little cantrip I learned called Dancing Lights, and put 4 separate lights further into the cave, 20 feet apart from each other.
All right. And this is successful. Your cantrip of dancing lights creates a chain of little lanterns of light deeper and deeper into the cave, so you can see almost all the way back to the very edge of the cave. And you see in the middle of this, if I'll point here for me.
Yes, sir.
Deeper in this middle section is a huge mound. It's a pile of all the treasure that this ogre has been able to squirrel away. And on top, sorry for using the squirrel term, up on top of this pile is what is clearly some of Steve's favorite objects hanging out of a bag. It looks like there's a bag that might have even come from his from his shop that was stuffed full of all this amazing loot. And it's about as big as Loop herself.
So,
Keeping in mind, there is an ogre outside of the cave. You are still technically in combat, and in approximately 12 seconds, the ogre will realize that he's outside of the cave.
the problem is I love shiny things. And so I look over at the pile of stuff that could be from Steve's shop. And I feel the desperate need to run over and stuff my shirt with as much as I can. And even Potato joins me in filling its cheeks because we have this shiny object obsession.
Go for it. So you run deep into that pile of stuff. You make it there with Potato with you, and you are shoving your bag and your clothes full of as much of this loot as you can find, and Potato's helping you by filling Potato's little potato cheeks.
I can't wait to see the art of Potato full of, like, loot.
Yes, please, as much artwork as possible of Potato full of loot.
Potato cheek.
Potato.
Lovely.
Yama. I'm sorry,
Yama.
yeah, Yama.
Alright, I'm gonna move up towards where Onyx is. How close is he to the edge?
Oh, he's about 5 feet from the edge.
The edge of the cliff and maybe 15 feet from the beginning of the bridge.
Yeah.
So reach down, put my hands on the ground, and a slight tremor starts shaking the ground through here.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting. What's this one called?
This is thaumaturgy, and it's just a slight tremor.
And what is your intent here? You want to maybe make him lose his balance?
Yeah, lose his balance.
Okay, I think that might be a defensive.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And he only has one eye, so his balance is off.
And he's been wounded in the toes,
In the
Oh my
toe.
god.
but mostly the toenail.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do it with disadvantage.
Hey, that
I rolled
hurts.
one. Why don't you roll
You
one?
know when
Alright,
you stub a
disadvantage.
toe,
Oh my
you're
God.
screwed.
Oh, you
You
did
did
worse than me.
sword
I
put
did
through
way
his
worse than
spine.
you.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that ogre might fall.
I think that ogre is falling. The ogre is
falling.
he wobbles towards the end. And
Whoa,
slides
it's shiny!
over the edge. He crashes into the bottom of this. The waterfall is pouring over him. The water was not very deep, as Onyx earlier learned, and he's cracked his back. He's definitely still alive, but he's rolling around and looking terribly gruesome below as he up at you.
Alright, everybody okay?
Yeah. Barely.
I'm alive!
Oh boy. Alright.
Where's this Charizard at?
Let's find the... Let's go catch them all.
Do we get the ring?
Let's go.
Do we have the ring? Someone have the ring?
Well, the ring is in the shop.
Ring to the shop.
Steve has the ring.
No, what? Wait, what were you checking out? You were all into.
The ring in the shop.
That was in the shop.
Alright, let's
Settle.
let's toss this place.
Alright.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, there you go. That was
Good,
awesome.
good. How you doing?
What was that?
There's a giant hole in your shoulder.
It's okay.
So, between all of our adventurers, as they gather around these objects, these gemstones, between you, you find 84 gemstones.
Holy
Of
beans!
various colors and kinds. Some of them are very smooth, some of them are very porous and rough. And you put them all, gather them all up into your collection. There's 83 gemstones, which we'll make a note on this side. As you're looking around, also, Hank, just at your feet, it seems, where's Hank? He's back inside, right? The dancing light illuminates down at your feet. You see, there it is. Still in perfect mint condition in the beautiful little case that Steve had put it in. A holofoil first edition Charizard. How would you like to pick it up and take it with you?
I will keep this safe until we make it back. For Steve, smile very wide.
You keep it safe. You've gathered up all of these gemstones. We'll find out what Loop has gathered up with Potato's help. And you are going to move back to Steve? Is this your plan, or
Yeah.
what do you do?
Let's get out
Yeah,
of this
just make sure we grab
disgusting
anything
cave.
of value. And he said there were other Pokemon cards, or...
I think in this giant bag, there's probably some more Pokemon cards.
Okay,
But
yeah,
we'll
we're
discover
gonna
what Loop has gathered
Might be a
up.
little
Okay.
moldy because it's so slimy in this cave.
Ah,
Yeah, you leave anything that looks like it's obviously bones or flesh or not with no resale value, but everything else that you
Are
can
there
pick
any
up.
musical instruments lying around?
In fact, you roll a perception check, and let's find out if you see a musical instrument.
13.
13? Luckily.
In the, just like laying horizontally in the gap where the wall of the cave meets the floor of the cave, you find an ornately carved didgeridoo.
Would you like to take it with you?
I would love to take the didgeridoo.
All right, so you've got the Charizard and the
Please.
didgeridoo, and you're heading out of here. So as our adventurers make their way towards the mouth of the cave, they'll follow loop back along the path they took to get here, and we are going to take a quick break. We are now approaching. You've left. Loop has been leading the way. You've left this ogre's cave, and the outpost rangers rejoice when they see you returning. Your arms are bundled with loot. Potato has shiny things like, it seems like necklaces or little bits of sparkle hanging from his puffy cheeks. And they know that you must have defeated this ogre. There is dancing, people are drumming. They could not be more stoked than they are literally right now. The rangers throw fine soil up at you in exchange for flower petals or rice. This is a tribute that they give to you. They throw clean dirt up at you as you walk
Hallelujah.
towards Steve's store. You're gonna head into Steve's store, or do you have any business that you want to do before you go in?
No. Let's
think we
let's
do
go
some
see
dancing as we go right into Steve's.
Yeah.
All right.
I put I don't know. Oh yeah. Should I still have to leave Dago outside?
I think Dago bought enough for us. That we
Doggo
can
is a
trust.
hero. A hero.
I
Doggo
understand
is a
what I'm
hero.
saying,
Yes.
so
So
he
Doggo
can.
sits on the shoulder pack.
And you head into the store. Welcome back! It's so great to see you! Yes. I see you must have been successful judging by the amount of loot that you're carrying with you. How was your adventure?
Harrowing.
Hank's not feeling too good. We might need to give him
I
some
almost died,
special tea tonight.
Oh, you almost died.
but it was worth it.
That's terrible.
Hank's a champ.
Say, Hank, I have a wide variety of healing potions you might be interested in purchasing. Is there anything else that you might like to purchase?
Can you tell me a little bit more again about this special ring?
Ah, yes. This is a ring of animal handling, and is a ring of animal influence. Allow me to introduce you to my constituent. His name is Sally.
Salamander.
His name is Sally, and he's just here. Tell him, Sally.
Why, hello, welcome to Steve's store. This is a ring of animal influence. It has a few boons that might be useful to you in your adventures. Specifically, you can cast a spell of animal friendship. That makes animals not as mean to you, which is real helpful when you're out there in the wilderness. And of course, it wouldn't be a magical ring if it didn't let you cast Speak with Animals, which would let you communicate with some animals out there in the wild. And also, of course, if you really wanted to use it, you can instill fear in an animal and make it run away from you. Back to you, Steve.
Sally, you are a vision. So good to see you, Sally. So what exactly did you uncover? What do you have?
84 gemstones.
84 gemstones! That's
And-
quite a pretty penny, as they say.
We got something for you too.
Does this look familiar?
Oh! My Charizard! Please! If I might have it back, the rest of the loot is yours to keep. Please!
What is this worth to you, Steve? Okay,
I'm
you just
really
have it. You
certain
just have it. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, you made me so nervous. and he tucks
Hank's
this.
the real kidder. That whole
Steve, you told me
hole
some jokes.
in
I'm
his-
going to tell you a joke.
That hole in his shoulders is made him a little, wacky.
Thank you so much,
I
Hank.
lost a lot of blood for that Charizard.
He tucks the Charizard into his, he's got a Hawaiian shirt that has extra pockets on the inside in case you would like to buy a watch. And he puts
much is
the
that shirt?
Charizard inside of his shirt. The shirt is not for sale. What else have you found in this ogre's cave?
We found your Pokemon cards, but they're a little moldy and gross.
It's alright, everything around here is a little moldy and gross. I'm not too worried
Did
about
you want
it.
any moldy Pokemon cards, or was that one Charizard card enough?
Say you have more Pokemons?
Yeah. Like, oops.
Let's see what you got.
I got some stuff I wanted to keep from myself.
Oh, sure, I don't mean to pry, but let's see those Pokemons. Hitmonchan! I'll give you 2 gemstones for this Hitmonchan.
How about 4?
3.
3.5.
3 point none.
Fine.
That's a great deal.
It's a deal. Take the Hitmonchan, give them 3 extra stones. They now have 87, I believe.
Yes.
80, you have 87 gemstones with which to purchase magical items. This ring of animal influence
Influence, honey, influence.
Is influence indeed. Is 50 gemstones, which would leave you some more to shop with if you like, or you can keep it for your future adventures.
I just gotta ask, is there no just good reward for having gone on this journey for you?
You have lots of loot, and you are still alive.
And you have a Charizard card that you did not have recently.
Yes, and I'm very
He
thankful.
makes a good point, Steve.
And I have a hole in my shoulder.
You can help
Very
identify
well.
what they have in their hole.
Indeed. I'm willing to help you identify some objects. Perhaps you have a map you need someone to look at, or maybe some object that you don't have enough information about. I'd be willing to trade you information.
Yes. Actually, yeah, we
I
got a
still
map.
have a map, yeah.
Also this, and I rummage around and I pull up a cylinder, and also, yeah, we'll take the ring. It's like the ring.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Yeah, the ring.
Sold! So I'll take 50 of your gemstones in exchange for this ring of animal influence, and I'll give it to you, Onyx.
Thank you.
And what is this cylinder you're holding?
It was something.
May I?
Something. Yeah.
This is really special. Sally, look at this! Sally, look!
I'm looking.
Isn't it as special as you always thought it would be?
It's so special.
Thank you, Sally.
Where did you find this?
Where did you find this? Sally must know.
It was out of the cave. Out of the cave.
In the
I think.
cave.
This was in the cave.
Why am I talking like you all of a sudden?
It happens. I know what this is. I don't know technology, but I do think I know what this is. This is and he goes to open it very gently, and it's glowing in the test tube. This is the element. The element. It's about a quarter cup of element. Do you know that there's a Milwaukee power plant that runs on a teaspoon of this for a whole decade?
I do.
I mean, this amount could be worth a ton, but in this frozen universe, as you've described it, you wouldn't be able to trade this for cash. No, this is more important than this. And the vial, it has a casing on the vial that is
the diamonds.
obviously there to protect it. You recognize these diamonds, do you?
Where are they from? We saw them on the underground.
These diamonds are a security symbol from Aerosai. Aerosai uses these symbols to mark secure or otherwise top secret elements or documents. Some people would call this Earth Core, but it is absolutely the element. And if I'm not mistaken, someone must have taken it on their way to find this ogre, or the ogre could have come across it on their own, but I don't know how it would have ended up there.
Didn't you say something about those arrows size.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Well,
It's a company called Arrow Side.
So did
Arrow.
you take the bottle of that element
No,
into
no,
the
that's
cave?
not. That's not mine. That's not mine. Certainly not mine.
so is the
I
element
don't-
the same as Earth core?
I have a sneaking suspicion that what they call Earth Core, we call the element. It is obtained by drilling. Aerosci has been drilling this for decades, and they've extracted over the past years hundreds, if not thousands, of gallons of Earth Core, or as they've called Earth Core. The elemental that are here are working to return the element to the core of the Earth. The element has a magical power, and if you were to return
That
this
was his
Earth
idea.
Whoa,
This
that's
was
what
your
all my
idea?
research has been saying. That this is just a hypothesis of mine.
Your research is correct. If we can return this element, the intense magical powers might return us to harmony and balance with the world's ecosystems. This is precisely what I think you mean to say.
It's true. It's true. It's all true. Suck it, Scientific America.
It's possible that you might be able to reverse the effects of this explosion we see so high in the sky. I can tell that your friend needs healing. Might we interest you in some healing potions for sale? Say 5 gemstones each?
Yeah,
Certainly.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
5 potions for 1 gemstone?
No. 1 potion for 5
worth a try.
gemstones.
So, 4?
Yeah.
We'll take 4.
You'd like to purchase 4? Well, I can offer you a deal. In this case, 4 gemstones for... No, wait. 4 potions for 19 gemstones.
Save a
Yeah.
gemstone. That's nice. Save a gemstone.
Done.
You agree?
Agreed.
Very well. And he hands you over 4 potions of healing that, who's gonna carry them? I'll give them all to you, Hank, and you can...
Can we each have one?
You guys can do whatever you want.
Well, let's see, everybody gets 1.
Everybody will take 1 of these potions of healing.
Sasha wrote that down.
Yeah, just maybe treasure it? Sure.
Do you know anything about this one? Like, this is a version of the element that we found from an explosion.
This seems different to me.
Yeah, I've never seen one with these kinds of properties.
This to me seems like something which is no longer. This is like a shadow of Earth Core. This seems... We better leave this to the experts.
Okay.
What experts?
Certainly not me.
And how do we return this stuff to the Earth? We just like pour it down a drain, or?
Yes, I have a map here somewhere. Let me see if I have a map. And he's digging through.
I have a map.
You have a map.
I have a map.
Let's see it. Let's see your map.
Is this
Yeah.
me turn it upside down for you, Steve? Or?
Maybe you could rotate it 90 degrees. Yeah, clockwise. There you go. Yes. This map here. Yes. Yes, this looks familiar. These are the zones determined by Aerosci.
Right.
I do believe that these mark paths or areas where tunnels that run deeper than any tunnels that the non-magical world would be aware of.
Well, we started at this diamond here, and somehow ended up all the way down here in Zone 3, even though we thought we were going to Zone 1.
Yes, Zone 1. Let me see. I know of Zone 1. Some people call this Canada. It's Canada.
Most people.
Eastern Canada, yeah.
Most eastern Quebec, I do believe. This is an area where there is a drilling site. heavily fortified, if I'm not mistaken, the extraction point of this element. And I believe that they're keeping it in a kind of water tower, a gravity feed of earth core above the Earth's surface. Let's see, what else do I see here? Yes, Zone 3, that's where we are now.
You mentioned Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yes, that would...
I grew up not far from there.
You know it.
In Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Zone 2.
Zone 2. Zone 2 is unusual indeed. Zone 2, I can tell you that this is the area where there might be an Aerosci research facility. If the drilling is happening in Zone 1, in Zone 2 is where they have moved some of this earth core off of the beaten path. Here it said they study the containment of earth core and the transportation of earth core, which we have of course called the element. And there, the big zone in the middle, this is Zone 5. Zone 5 is, of course, your way towards Denver and the great western expanse. They say that there is great fortune beyond Zone 5, but I myself have never slithered that way. Some say that it is akin to a ecological El Dorado. Not a city of gold, but perhaps of knowledge or genetic or otherwise remarkable biodiversity.
Do you know anything about Zone 4? Central Canada?
As they say, it's Canada.
It's Canada.
It's more Canada.
I've heard that expression.
Blame Canada.
In Canada.
I do know that you could return to the tunnels just outside of our outpost. You know, the mossy-covered steps,
Yes.
just beyond the trash walkway.
But how do we know where we'll end up?
I think you may have to call upon the greater element for that. If you were to roll up a map like that when you were at a train station, you might be
Right.
able to whisper into it
Oh, like
for
Thor
help.
said.
Yeah, Eugene.
Eugene! You know Eugene.
You know Eugene?
He's a real bastard. Honestly, I don't trust him.
He gave me this map. Us.
Well, don't tell him you've met me. He won't like it very much. He doesn't like my dad jokes. I'm not even a dad. Some might say that I am a faux pas. Yes? Yes, you like it.
Yeah.
I told you I'd get you back.
Is there anyone else we should talk to around here?
Honestly, most of the people around here are either working too hard or drinking too heavily to be much help, but Loop might be able to help you on your way.
Do you happen to have any more moisturizer?
I told you to mush up some grass and put it on your face.
Moisturizer.
Running, a little
I'll have to
low.
check with Sally. Sally!
Well, I think
Do we have any
more-
moisturizer in the back?
We might
Sally?
have some bottles of things. I don't know. We got some potions back there. Let me see what I can find.
Okay.
While Sally roots around back there to determine whether or not we have any more moisturizer, is there anything else I might be able to help you with before you travel away?
How many gems do we have left?
35.
No, we
No, we got like
19.
2 plus 50 for the ring.
We've got 18 left.
18 left.
Well, we'll save them. Maybe we can save them. But I have a question. Somewhere along the line in the tunnels, train got stopped. Our friend got yanked out. Where might that be?
Should probably ask them to yank her.
Between here and Zone 1, you say?
Yeah.
If I weren't mistaken, I would guess that there are only a few stops traveling down. Was it very near your arrival here, or
Yeah.
just after your departure?
It was closer to here.
Ah, yes. I would guess your friend has been taken to the caves below the Appalachian Mountains. It would be nearly impossible to take the tunnel system back up to Zone 0 from here because of the collapse in these tunnels, but on the way down, it's possible that on the southbound train, your friend was taken into these caves.
So is there another way to get up north without the tunnels?
It would be a long walk.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta find Osh.
You're gonna walk to the Appalachian Mountains.
I'll come with you.
I think this is something I've gotta do alone.
You sure?
If you're going alone, you'll need this. Sally!
Well, I just found some of these old things in the back, and it's got a couple of bottles of goo and stuff in them. I don't know what these old things do, but you might be able to make some use of them.
Okay.
She hands you 6 glass bottles of various different colored liquids, unlabeled, unmarked, corked.
That's face goo.
Thanks for taking those off our hands now.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you,
Certainly.
Sally. You've been extremely helpful in all of this.
Absolutely.
Steve, you know what a fish said when it ran into a wall?
What did a fish say when it ran into a wall?
Depends on the fish. I mean, some fish say... Depends what language the fish speaks.
That was okay.
Thank you.
A for effort, Hank.
Most fishes would say damn.
I'll tell you what, Hank, I have a better joke for you. Hank, you can use this one on your next adventure.
Yeah?
Why couldn't Steve ride... No, I'm Steve. Why couldn't Bob ride a bicycle?
Why not?
Because Bob's a fish! See, that's a joke. Write it down on your map, it's very helpful. Before the sound effects get carried away, I should probably be closing up for the day. It's getting quite late and I have lots to do. So please, you have your remaining gemstones, take them with you. There are others you may trade with along the way.
You got any snacks for Potato and Doggo?
Oh, you know, I used to be on an all-almond diet, but I quit because that's nuts. He tosses you a little bag of almonds that he no longer wants, and you can feed them to Potato as you like. Very well. Out, out, out. Get away.
Thanks,
Get away.
Steve.
Closes up the windows, the shutters. You hear him giggling to himself. He could not have been more pleased with how that went. This was a big day for Steve.
So you're saying that Steve sells Steve Shells by the Steve Shore store is shut.
Steve sells Steve Shells by the Steve Shore store in the swamp is shut. Our adventurers are heading back
I
out.
was loopy, huh?
I'm Luke.
Yeah. Oh, yes, but he was loopy.
That's true.
So our adventurers are making their way. Are you heading back towards this subway stop, and you're gonna have to go in separate directions? It sounds like Yama is setting off on his own towards the Appalachian Mountains. Here, we'll pull this up here.
Y'all are going north.
Good
There we
riddance.
go.
I have a pretty good sense of direction. I think I can take care of myself. Osh. I gotta go find Osh. You guys have to get this solved as soon as possible because even though time has stopped, it's still moving. So
That was deep.
this.
That was real deep.
Yama is correct that about each of these episodes or sessions, 1 minute of real world time is passing. So it has been now 2 minutes since the explosion in real world time. Also, this is a fun moment for all of our adventurers who are playing along at home, that all of our adventuring characters are now leveled up to level 2.
You were level 1?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
You were.
I did not know.
Yes, now you are level 2, which means you'll be able to make adjustments to each of your characters. Some of your races and classes will benefit by this upgrade. Some of you will unlock new spells, new abilities when we come back for our next stream on next Sunday. And as you walk up these mossy steps, you're going to say goodbye to Yama, who will head off on his own towards the Appalachian Mountains, up towards the northeast of where you are now, definitely the north. And it will be to the three of you to determine where you will ask the elemental to send you. So there are zones 2, 5, and you could even be making it on your way up towards zone 1, but it looks like right now you could either go to zone 2 or to zone 5 if you'll flip open the map.
Zone 2 or zone 5?
And who's to say that there aren't more zones beyond 5?
Beyond 5, anything could happen.
This is just a
Well,
one
zone
map.
2 is the drilling facility, so... that
Zone
makes no
2
sense.
is the research facility. Zone 1 is the drilling.
To
And
Milwaukee.
And Zone 5 would take you off to the west, where there is said to be a city like El Dorado for biodiversity and research, which is
Zone what, 5?
in Denver. Just at the edge, the outskirts of Zone 5.
in Colorado.
I think we should make a pit stop at 2 and continue over to 5.
Agreed.
It's close to home.
Yeah.
All right.
Erisai will have some answers.
So our adventurers are gathered together. We have Yama. Is there anything else you'd like to say to these friends before you set off on your own and they'll get into the subway?
We don't really have a way of communicating, but I have a feeling that we'll meet again. I'll head out to Zone 5 by the time that I find Osh. It was a pleasure. Hank, keep it up.
And you.
Good luck with all that. It was a pleasure, Luke. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Potato's gonna miss Doggo.
I know. I'll hope they can reunite as well. And Onyx,
Yama?
I hope we meet again. And I hope that you've come into your own a little more. You've
see.
got it. You've got it inside of you. You're magic, or you have a lot of unexplained science in there.
Unexplained science. Alright.
And just as you share this strange, beautiful moment, you look down between you, and almost like the elemental, the group of other people in this movement, have somehow focused their energy, their mana, and between all four of you are 5 beautiful geode gemstones. There are 5 new gemstones. It's almost, they weren't there before when you got off the train, but just between you there are now 5 additional gemstones. You can divvy them up how you wish. Yama can take some with, or leave them with the party.
I'll leave them.
No, you keep
No,
one.
take 2.
Take 2.
All right.
Josh and
One for
Alright.
your sister.
Alright. Thanks.
Yama takes 2. Onyx, Loop, and Hank each take 1.
Yes.
Very good. As the Yama, you're heading off now, but on foot to find your sister Ashima, and Onyx, Loop, and Hank step into the subway. They step into this beautiful giant metal cylinder that has been waiting there for them. The doors close. Thank you all for watching the Golden Spiral episode 1 and 2 recap. We are live again next Sunday at noon Pacific Standard Time. It is September 1st for episode 3. So come join us. You can see us even sooner if you like on Wednesday, which is our Inside the Golden Spiral stream where me, Ivilo, and Danny will develop some top secret things that Amelia can't possibly know about. And you can share your artwork from today's stream using hashtag the Golden Spiral or hashtag Inside the Golden Spiral, which is the top secret stuff that Amelia can't know about until we're live next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Have a great time zone.